Found in a 19th century gentleman's traveling kit, this Y-shaped thing is made of a grained organic material, possibly bone. It has a hinged toggle on one end with a limited range of motion. All three ends are cut at a 45-degree angle. What is this small, hinged support piece? This Y-shaped object is identified as a celluloid picture frame or mirror stand. In the late 19th and early 20th centuries, small portable picture frames or vanity mirrors were common items in a traveling kit. This Y-shaped piece would have been the hinged easel or stand on the back. It would be attached to the back of the frame, and the hinge toggle would allow it to be swung out to support the frame in an upright position for display on a table or dresser. Celluloid, an early plastic that could mimic ivory or bone, was a very common material for such decorative and functional items of that era. Found while thrifting, this item has a top middle compartment and a bottom pull-out drawer. The outside is wood, and the inside appears to be metal. It has a spout-looking thing on the upper half and is branded Aider. The finder guesses it's an old icebox. Is this correct? The finder's guess is correct. This is technically an old-fashioned non-electric refrigerator, more commonly known as an icebox. The top compartment is where a large block of ice, delivered by an iceman, would be placed. As the ice melted, the cold air would sink, cooling the middle food storage compartment below it. The melted ice water would drip down and be collected in the pan in the bottom pull-out drawer, which needed to be emptied regularly. The spout-looking thing might be related to this drainage system. The metal lining, often made of zinc or tin-plated steel, was for hygiene and to prevent the wooden cabinet from becoming waterlogged. This heavy cast iron object, about 4 inches at the base and weighing about 5 lbs, was picked up at a thrift store. The hole in the center is tapered, about 2 inches deep and 1.25 inches square. The finder guesses it's a heavy base to hold something. What is it? This heavy cast iron object is an antique match striker. It's a combination holder and striker for old-fashioned strike-anywhere matches. The central tapered hole is where a supply of matches would be kept for easy access. The rough, often ribbed or cross-hatched, surfaces on the sides of the cast iron base served as the striking surface. The heavy weight of the object provided stability, allowing a match to be struck and lit with one hand. These were common and practical items for the home, or in public places like bars and smoking rooms in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, before the advent of safety matches and disposable lighters. Found in a grandma's cabinet, this set consists of a glass cup that cannot stand up by itself on its pointy end, and a donut-shaped piece of glass that the cup fits into but cannot be removed from. What is this elegant glassware set for? These are identified as candle drip protectors, also known as bobettes. They are designed to be used with candlesticks to catch any drips of melting wax, preventing the wax from running down onto the candlestick itself or the table surface. The donut-shaped piece would fit over the top of the candlestick, and the candle would then be placed in the center holder. The cup-shaped part, which looks like a glass cup that surrounds the candle base, is what catches the wax drips. They are a functional and often decorative accessory for formal dining or elegant home decor. Found when clearing a relative's flat, this small object consists of a couple of prisms attached to a small metal frame, measuring roughly 2 cm by 6 cm. The finder wonders if it's something to do with a microscope. What is this compact optical component? This is a double poro prism assembly, a key component from inside a pair of binoculars. Poro prisms, invented by Ignazio Porro in the 19th century, are used in many traditional binocular designs. The double prism system serves two crucial purposes. First, it inverts the image from the objective lens, which would otherwise appear upside down and reversed, so that the viewer sees a correctly oriented image. Second, it folds the light path, allowing the binoculars to be shorter and more compact than a straight telescope of the same magnification. This small pre-assembled unit would be one of the 2 identical assemblies found inside a pair of Poro prism binoculars. If you love uncovering strange and mysterious objects, hit like and subscribe. Your support genuinely helps YouTube's algorithm find more curious explorers like you. Thank you for helping us grow. Stay curious. Found next to coffee mugs at a charity shop, this is a small, white ceramic thing with an opening in the front and a pointy top. It's about 5 centimeters tall, too small for a tea light candle. It's not a salt pig, as salt would fall out. The finder wonders if there's a hole at the top. What is its purpose? The finder's last question is the key. This small ceramic house-like or teepee-like object with an opening in the front and a small hole at the top is almost certainly an incense cone holder or burner. The user would light the tip of a cone of incense, place it on a small fireproof base inside the ceramic holder, and then place the cover over it. The smoke from the smoldering incense cone would then rise and exit through the small chimney hole at the pointy top, creating a pleasing visual effect while safely containing the hot cone and distributing the fragrance. This small metal cap suddenly appeared in the middle of a kitchen floor. It has KITCHENAID 1919 etched into its outside surface. The finder only owns a KITCHENAID stand mixer and can't see where this part might have come from. What is this branded metal cap? This small metal cap is identified as the decorative end piece from the handle of a KITCHENAID brand ladle or another similar cooking utensil like a large spoon or spatula. Many of KITCHENAID's utensils feature a distinctive design with a plastic or silicone handle that has a branded metal cap at the very end, which often includes a hole for hanging. Over time and with repeated use and washing, the adhesive or friction fit holding this end cap in place can fail, causing it to fall off unnoticed. The 1919 likely refers to the year the KITCHENAID brand was founded, a common feature on their branding. A pottery fragment washed up on a beach in Australia. It was found in a swell that brought up a lot of seashells. What part of a larger pottery item is this likely to be? This pottery fragment looks very much like a teapot spout that has broken off from the main body of the teapot. The curved, tapered, and hollow shape of a teapot spout is quite distinctive. Being a protruding part, the spout is one of the most common components to break off a ceramic teapot if it is dropped or damaged. Once broken, the fragment could be washed into the sea or a river, where it would be tumbled by the waves over time, smoothing its broken edges, much like sea glass, before eventually washing up on a beach. Absolutely no clue what this is. It's a circular tube almost 6 inches tall and half an inch wide. The tip is slanted and made of rubber, and it says, "On the mend," on the side. The section at the bottom, about an inch long, twists and makes a clicking sound. What is this tool? Despite its somewhat unusual appearance, this is identified as a cuticle pusher, a tool used in manicures. The slanted rubber tip is used to gently push back the cuticles from the surface of the nail. The long, pen-like body provides a comfortable grip. The twisting, clicking mechanism at the bottom might be for extending or retracting a different tool at the other end, perhaps a nail cleaner or a trimmer which might be missing, or it could simply be a non-functional part of the design. On the mend is likely the brand name, suggesting personal care or grooming products. This rusty metal box, with slits, is mounted on a covered front porch ceiling. What is this vintage piece of electrical hardware? A former alarm system installer recognizes this box. While not definitive, it is a standard industry junction box that was used for multiple situations in alarm system installations. It could have been used to house connections for outdoor sirens, strobe lights, magnetic contacts for doors and windows, or other security system components. The slits might have been for ventilation, or to allow sound from a small internal buzzer or siren to escape. It's a common piece of older security system hardware, likely from an outdated system that has since been decommissioned or replaced. Bought in a vintage toolbox at a yard sale, this mystery tool is made of blackened steel with a hollow, knurled handle. The end is slightly flared with a rectangular slot that is beveled at both ends to an edge. Many other tools in the box seem to be related to gunsmithing. What is this specialized tool? This tool appears to match listings for a Mauser K98 rifle bolt disassembly tool. The Mauser K98 was a standard service rifle for the German army in World War II, and millions were produced. Gunsmiths and soldiers used specialized tools like this to properly disassemble and maintain the rifle's complex bolt mechanism. The rectangular beveled slot and other features of the tool would be designed to engage with specific parts of the bolt, such as the firing pin assembly, allowing for its safe removal and cleaning. It's a very specific piece of historical military gunsmithing equipment. These dime-sized metal thing-eyes were found in a wallet. Google Lens identifies them as cell batteries, but that is incorrect. Both are identical. What are these small, machined metal discs? These small metal discs are identified as part of an adjustment knob for an adjustable vehicle suspension system, like those made by companies specializing in coilovers or performance suspension. On some adjustable suspension setups, the damping characteristics, stiffness, of the shock absorbers can be fine-tuned by turning a small knob located at the top of the shock tower. These small, decorated metal discs are the top decorative part of that adjustment knob. They might have fallen off or been kept in the wallet after being removed for some reason. Placed along a field perimeter line in the UK, this area is potentially marked for development. Around 15 of these objects, each about 30 cm long, heavy, and black shiny, are evenly spaced along one hedgerow. The finder speculates they might be for nature monitoring. What are they? The finder's speculation is correct. These heavy black tubes are used for reptile and invertebrate monitoring. Ecologists and environmental consultants use these as artificial refuges to survey for the presence of species like slowworms, lizards, small snakes, and various ground-dwelling invertebrates. The tubes provide a dark, sheltered, and thermally stable environment that these animals will use for cover. Surveyors can then periodically check under or inside these tubes to identify and count the species present. This is often a required step in an ecological impact assessment before a construction or development project can be granted permission. This is an 8 ASO 8-inch stone mosaic object with handles on either top corner. It becomes wider towards the bottom and has a water bottle-esque lid at the top. It weighs about 5 lebs. What is this unique piece of pottery? This is identified as a studio or art pottery piece from the Mosca-Vietri pottery studio. Vietri pottery is a style of brightly colored ceramics from the town of Vietri sul Mare in Italy, known for its traditional and artistic designs. This particular piece, with its unique shape, mosaic-like finish, and handles, is a decorative item from that studio. While their current website might show more elaborate work, a search for Mosca-Vietri pottery reveals similar, simpler designs and a signed base that matches the one on this item. It's a piece of handmade Italian art pottery, possibly a decorative vase or jug. Found in the center console of a 2018 F-150 after it was detailed, this 1-inch long black plastic end cap has a 13-tooth half-inch gear. The letter R and .148 are engraved on the bottom. The gear has moderate resistance and turns slowly. What is this small geared plastic component? This component is identified as a rotary glove box damper. A damper is a mechanism that controls motion, and in this case, it's designed to make the glove box door open smoothly and slowly, rather than just falling open. The gear mechanism provides resistance as the glove box door opens, creating a controlled fluid motion. It was likely dislodged or not reinstalled correctly by the detailing staff when they were cleaning the inside of the dashboard or changing the cabin air filter, which is often located behind the glove box. The R likely indicates it's for the right-hand side. Found in a barn in the southeast of Germany, this is an incomplete, stationary, medium-heavy machine. What was its original purpose in a workshop or farm setting? Based on its likely configuration of wheels, guides, and cranks, though not fully detailed, this machine is identified as a saw sharpening machine, or at least what's left of one. These specialized machines were essential in any workshop or farm that relied on large saws, such as circular saws for milling lumber or large crosscut saws. The machine would securely hold the saw blade at a precise angle, while a grinding wheel or a file mechanism was used to accurately sharpen each individual tooth, ensuring a consistent and effective cutting edge. Many different designs existed, but they were a common piece of vintage workshop equipment before the widespread use of disposable or professionally serviced blades. This setup appears to be a doorbell chime, but it's actually a small hardwired transformer connected to an apparatus on a cold water pipe. The apparatus has a small dial wheel. What is this plumbing-related electrical device? This is a zone valve actuator for a hydronic hot water heating system, specifically identified as a White Rogers zone valve, model 1311-102, made by Emerson. In a hydronic heating system, a boiler heats water that is then circulated through pipes to radiators or baseboard heaters in different zones of the house. This electrically operated valve, powered by the low-voltage transformer, opens or closes to control the flow of hot water into a specific zone, as called for by a thermostat. The French warning label indicates it's not to be used with pipes for potable drinking water. This heavy red kitchenware item is about the size of a cake and comes from a collection of antique kitchenware. It appears to be made from iron. What is its specific cooking purpose? This heavy iron kitchenware item could be an indoor grill, sometimes called a stovetop grill or grill pan. These heavy cast iron pans, often round or square, feature raised ridges on the cooking surface. When placed over a stove burner, the pan gets very hot. Food placed on the ridges gets grill marks and cooks with intense direct heat, while fat and juices drain away into the channels between the ridges. Some versions were designed as two-part systems for use under a broiler, or even had specific stands for use over an open flame or coals, allowing for indoor grilling before modern electric grills became common. Used as a doorstop in a recently purchased old South Australian house, this arrowhead-shaped metal object measures 110 mm by 40 mm. The finder wonders if it's a real arrowhead or a garden tool. What is this decorative metal piece? This metal, arrowhead-shaped object is 100% identified as a curtain rod finial. A finial is the decorative ornament attached to the end of a curtain rod. They serve to prevent the curtain from sliding off the end of the rod and also act as a key decorative element in the window treatment. Finials come in a vast array of shapes, sizes, and materials, and arrowhead or spear point designs were, and still are, a popular stylistic choice, especially for wrought iron or rustic-looking curtain rods. The commenter notes their grandmother had the exact same ones. Found in a kitchen near a dishwasher, this flat steel clip-like thing is about 1.5 by 2 cm and very sturdy. An AirPod is shown for scale. It seems to be a piece of hardware, but from what? This is a mounting clip used to secure a dishwasher in place under a countertop. During installation, dishwashers need to be fastened to the surrounding cabinetry or the underside of the countertop to prevent them from tipping forward when the door is opened and the racks are pulled out. This type of metal clip attaches to the top or side of the dishwasher's frame. A screw is then driven through the hole in the clip and into the wood of the cabinet or countertop, firmly anchoring the appliance. It likely fell or was left over during a recent installation or repair. Found in a garage, this tool is about 2.5 feet long with a metal rod body and handle attached to a rectangular base. Inside the base, a separate piece slides in and out. It could have been there for over 30 years. What is this lawn care tool? This tool is a turf plug cutter or lawn plugger. It's a specialized gardening tool used for repairing damaged patches of lawn or for transplanting specific types of grass. The user would press the cutting mechanism into a healthy section of their lawn to remove a neat plug of turf, complete with soil and roots. This plug can then be transplanted into a bare or damaged area of the lawn. The sliding piece in the base is likely part of the mechanism for ejecting the cut plug from the tool. It's a method for achieving seamless lawn repairs using your own existing turf. These 5-inch long metal objects with very small serrations are wire-wrapped and came in a plastic tube. They were found among a father's tools and may be related to woodworking. The finder is unsure if the fine wire wrapping should be removed. What are these delicate blades? These are jeweler's saw blades. A jeweler's saw is a type of handsaw with a C-shaped frame that holds these very fine, thin blades under tension. It is used by jewelers, metalworkers, and model makers to make intricate, precise cuts with tight curves in thin sheets of metal, plastic, or wood. The blades come in various sizes, thickness and teeth per inch, for different materials and tasks. The fine wire wrapping is how they are often bundled and sold to protect the delicate teeth and prevent them from getting tangled. The wire should be carefully unwound to access the individual blades. A foster kitten threw up chunks of these slightly stretchy strips. They are shiny on one side and matte on the other. The texture is similar to summer sausage casing, but it's not organic. The kitten had to have ingested it at its previous home. The holes are bite marks. What is this material? This material is identified as gift wrapping ribbon, specifically the shiny plasticized or mylar-type ribbon commonly used for decorating presents. This type of ribbon is often shiny or metallic on one side and has a matte finish on the other. Unfortunately, for reasons that aren't fully understood, some cats are intensely attracted to chewing on and eating ribbon, string, and similar materials. This can be very dangerous, as the ribbon can cause serious intestinal blockages, a condition known as a linear foreign body. The stretchy nature and the bite marks are consistent with a cat having chewed and ingested this common decorative item. This object looks like the top of a pen, but has no ballpoint for ink. It has a screw bit on the bottom. A friend suggested it looks like a tip for a practice arrow, but its origin is unknown. A picture with a finger shows its small size. What is it? This looks like the window breaker tip from a tactical or survival pen. These multi-function pens are typically made of a very strong material like aircraft-grade aluminum or steel. While one end is a functional writing pen, the other end, often under a cap, features a hardened, pointed tip, usually made of tungsten carbide or a similar material. This point is designed to be an emergency tool, capable of shattering a car's tempered glass window with a focused impact, allowing for escape from a trapped vehicle. The screw bit bottom is how it would attach to the main body of the pen. This dish appears to have been made by the luxury brand Carole Stupell. What was its specific serving purpose, likely for a refined dining or tea service? This serving dish by Carole Stupell is identified as a server for biscuits and a condiment like honey or creme. The larger base or dish part would be for holding scones, biscuits, or small pastries. The lil pitcher thing would be for serving a complementary topping, such as honey, clotted cream, jam, or a syrup. Carole Stupell was a well-known retailer of high-end, often whimsical and luxurious, tableware and home accessories. This set would have been used during a formal tea service, breakfast, or brunch, reflecting the brand's focus on elegant entertaining. Found on the floor while walking a dog, this object seems to be from the brand Anekke. It has text that says, "Carry the Sika and you won't get lost," on one side, and Anekke, Iceland, with some coordinates on the other. The finder wonders if it's jewelry or a keychain. What is it? This item is identified as a decorative part from a handbag, specifically from the Rune backpack in the Iceland collection by the brand Anekke. Anekke is a Spanish brand known for its whimsical and intricately designed handbags and accessories, often with a travel theme. This small plaque or charm, with its inspirational text and Icelandic theme, the coordinates are for Reykjavik, would have been an integral decorative component of the backpack, perhaps attached to a zipper pull or a strap. Sika in the phrase might be a typo or a specific term within the brand's lore. It's a lost piece of a designer handbag. This object was passed down from an engineer and is possibly related to artillery. It's made of some pretty strong magnets. What is this heavy, precisely machined magnetic device? This device looks like the core of a magnetron, specifically an X-band magnetron, or at least the tunable cavity from one. A magnetron is a high-powered vacuum tube that generates microwaves using the interaction of a stream of electrons with a magnetic field. They are the key component in radar systems. X-band is a common radar frequency, and microwave ovens. The precisely machined internal cavities, strong magnets, and waveguide output are all characteristic features. Its potential connection to artillery would be through its use in a radar targeting system for an artillery piece or an anti-aircraft gun. It is a highly specialized piece of microwave electronics. If you love uncovering strange and mysterious objects, hit that like button and subscribe. Stay curious. More finds coming soon.